Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today something a little bit special, a little bit different. And I was in IKEA recently buying a cabinet that I completely overestimated how big it was. And while I was there, I thought I'd check out the beers that they've got in IKEA. Now I've known they've had these beers for a few years now, but never got round to buying them, to be honest. And yeah, when I was there, I thought, yeah, let's give them a try. Not heard the greatest about these beers, but I wasn't expected to be like, whoa, blown away or anything like that. But yeah, I thought I'd give them a try, make for an interesting video, and I can't remember the brewery that brews these beers for IKEA, but I was looking on their Untapped, and they do a beer called Bastard Motorhead or something like that, so a Motorhead inspired beer. So I think they do a little bit of like contract brewing, and then mainly like strong lagers, that sort of stuff. So yeah, a typical Euro macro brewery. But yeah, so interested to see how they are, especially the dark lager. So we've got, and apologies about the terrible mispronunciation, the Öl Neus Lager, which is just the standard lager beer, 4.7% ABV, green bottle. And then we've got the Öl Mörk Lager, which is the dark lager. I'm guessing Mörk is a word for dark. And yeah, also 4.7% ABV, both in 330ml bottles, both with cool looking artwork, quite universal, and a lovely label on the neck, and then a really actually quite entertaining crown with a picture of a bottle opener, and it says not included. So just like the infamous IKEA instructions. So to go along with the beer, when I was there, £1 each for some pretentious, unnecessary and slightly annoying glasses. Although I've noticed the likes of Northern Monk and McKellar have adopted this sort of style, sort of like beheaded Teku glasses or something like that, and I thought for £1 they look quite nice. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I need to fill that cabinet to justify purchasing it. But to be honest, I've got my like retro consoles in there and some bits and bobs, so yeah, I am using it. But yeah, didn't need it, wanted it, so I got it. Paid probably a little bit more than I would like to for storage, but hey ho, it's gonna last for absolutely ages, and it is really quite spacious. But yeah, so let's don't do that. There's something really quite weird about doing that. Let's open both beers and see what we get. Gonna start off with the pale lager. I'll open them both at the same time and that sort of stuff, alternate between the two. Going to be cooking a pizza in a little bit. Being addicted to pizza recently, it's one of my favourite things. So these beers should hopefully go well with them. But let's see what we get. And getting a little bit of skunkage already, as you would expect from a green bottle of a macro lager. Won't pour it all in at once, but there we go. And then, oh god, that is really skunky. Jesus, it's got that musky skunkiness. Musky skunk. It's a musky skunk. Bit of Tim and Eric humour there for you. Anyway, let's see what we get with this one. Okay, that's more like it. I do like a good dark lager, so I'd be interested to see if this is sort of like a German Dunkel. I'm not too sure if Sweden's known for their sort of lager beer culture. But yeah, beer in the glass then. Obviously that is crystal clear. It's a little bit darker than I was expecting, but yet golden, slightly amber. Head dissipated really quickly, slow bubbles in there. Does look a little bit thin, as you would expect. And then the Dunkel is... it's not exactly jet black, but it's nearly there. You can just see like a sort of oakiness, like a really dark brown. Oh, actually now it looks nothing like jet black when you look at it from the top. But yeah, it looks nice. Again, no head to speak of. And yeah, looks again a little bit thin like you would expect. So we shall try the pale lager first. So let's see what we get on the nose. Actually, there was like a skunkiness at first when it was pouring into the glass, but that seems to have subsided. What we've got here is, it smells like an English blonde ale. There's like a prominent citrusy hop in there, with that sort of like sweet syrupy corn maltiness, like treacle almost, but not like a really dark one. Maybe a little bit of honey. Yeah, there's a little bit of honey in this. But then it's mixing with that slight muskiness, and it gives you that impression of like a typical like Euro lager. But yeah, it doesn't smell too bad, you know. It doesn't smell too bad at all. But the sweetness is a little bit sickly, I will say that. But yeah, loads of like herbal, bright notes, like parsley, mint. Yeah, it's really quite intriguing. Anyway, let's see. Looks like whiskey now or something like that. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. That is not bad, to be fair. But then I'm going to say that because I'm a macro apologist who loves a lager. That is true, by the way, but I know a good lager and I know a bad lager. And this isn't bad. Not too much going on, as you would expect. It's crisp, it's light. There's a mixture of like a cereal and a like sort of a slight savoury graininess, but then you do get a subtle sweetness. Nowhere near as sweet as the nose would lead you to believe. That being said, you do get that slight like corn syrup vibe. Don't know if this is adjunct or not. Don't know if it's brewed in a pure beer-like fashion. I'm not too sure, but that's not bad at all. It really, really isn't. Again, little subtle citrusy, hoppy notes in there. Very subtle though. And then a nice, gentle, hoppy bitterness on the back end. So yeah, not too bad. A pleasant surprise, especially after smelling it when it was freshly opened. Big, big skunky tones. But in the glass, that subsides really quickly, and what you're presented with is a fairly bog standard, safe lager. Anyway, let's see what we get with the excuse me, with the dark lager. Okay, that bad. There's loads of sweetness in this. Loads of cherries as well. Quite a bit of dark fruit character actually. A little bit of earthiness, graininess. But yeah, it's got like sort of like when you're cooking with like a sweet sherry or something like that, and the alcohol burns off. That's what it smells like. It's definitely a lot more going on the nose in this one compared to the lager beer. Yeah, subtle like brandy note coming through, but on like a boozy way. Just like that sweetness you sort of get from a brandy. But yeah, berries, a little bit of clove in there as well. Subtle like cakey spicy tones. Yeah, it's very winter-like on the nose. It smells really good actually, it really does. Anyway, let's give this one a taste. Cheers. Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a German Bock beer. Yeah, that is definitely like a German Bock beer for me. It doesn't really have that sort of like smokiness that some dark lagers have. It's a little bit sweet. Light body as well. It's not as like sweet or roasty as a Dunkel beer. But yeah, it's got those characters you expect from a German bock, and that sort of like fruitiness that you find in a doppelbock. Subtle coffee tone in there. A little bit of a syrupy vibe going on. A little bit of molasses. Again, it could get both these beers, the sweetness you get in there is a little bit synthetic tasting. So they could get quite sickly really quickly. And did not intentionally mean to rhyme then. Actually, there's some woody tones really after you've right on the back end after you've taken a sip. It leaves like sort of a woody aftertaste. Yeah, this one has beers that they're both been chilled down. This would be so much better just left at room temperature. I mean, are both these beers great beers? By far. Great beers. Are they what you'd expect from like a supermarket beer? With it being IKEA, you'd have thought that they might have had some sort of like trendy up and coming brewery brewing in collaboration with them. But yeah, not as bad as I thought they would be. Far from exciting, although this was a bit of a pleasant surprise as a fan of a good bock beer, and it has those traces there. Almost has like a slight ruby ale character as well, with the dark forest fruits. But this was a nice surprise as well, because I thought this was going to be like a skunk bomb. But then again, I am a little bit easier than most on lagers, especially the macro lagers, because there are loads of macro lagers that I really enjoy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, would I buy both these beers again? If I was in IKEA, I'd probably pick up a few more bottles of the dark lager. Don't really need to try the standard lager beer again. Not too bad. Although, it's one of those beers that you could have at a barbecue, I suppose. So, yeah, in terms of a rating then. Oh, nearly knocked the camera over. I'm going to give the Lius Lager, the pale beer, I'm going to give that one a 6 out of 10. Not bad at all, but not a beer that I would want to pick up anytime soon. And then for the Ulmerk Lager, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I'm going to give that one a 7.5. A very pleasant surprise indeed. And one that next time I was at IKEA, I would probably pick up another couple of bottles. But yeah, it's definitely got some really nice autumnal, like childhood memory on bonfire night sort of vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like you're cozy in your house, you go outside, it's cold and that sort of stuff. It's like, anyway, so yeah, 2 beers from IKEA, not bad at all. Was a little bit apprehensive after seeing some of the reviews from people who I know and respect on like Untapped and that sort of thing. And yeah, all in all, it'd be interesting to see if they developed this and maybe worked with some of the more trendier Swedish breweries. That'd be good. I think that'd be an interesting collaboration. Furniture and beer coming together. Because there's fashion. I mean, Omnipollo, is it Carl Grandin? He's a fashion designer. Could definitely see him working with IKEA and with Henrik at Omnipollo as well. Not that Omnipollo is the only craft brewery in Sweden. There are so many great breweries in Sweden. But yeah, I think IKEA could do something really interesting by having these beers still, because I think they are above standard beers, above average beers I should say. But it'd be good to see like IKEA working with craft breweries, not just in Sweden, but from around the world, because beer is so entwined nowadays with all sorts of mediums and aspects of culture and commercialism, I think it is. So it makes sense for IKEA to really jump on that bandwagon, and I personally would really like to see that. Do you know what I mean? Like, working with designers from breweries, you could create prints that just think of the interesting glassware, and then the beers that they could do, the events that they put on. Maybe some of the designers working with IKEA could work in collaboration with breweries themselves. I think that'd be a really interesting concept, and I'm very surprised that that's not happened. It may well have done in the past, but it's never really been promoted. But yeah, two really good, interesting beers for what they are, and definitely worth going next time you're buying a flat pack furniture at a reasonable price. But yeah, so if you've tried these beers, let me know your thoughts, opinions. Do IKEA do any other sorts of things? Have they done something in the past like this, like I was suggesting? If so, let me know in the comments. Check out the brewery that's brewed these, of course. I will remember to put that in the description and the title of the video. Check out IKEA if you've been living under a rock. One thing I love about IKEA is buying one of those big blue bags. Because after living in a place like Germany where everyone shops at IKEA, see, in the UK, IKEA has that sort of like, let's go to IKEA, whereas like, you know, students shop at IKEA on a regular basis in countries like Germany, and I'd imagine in Sweden and that part of Europe. And it always excited me. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, because you'll always see someone in Germany either moving house with loads of IKEA bags, and yeah, it's I mean, I don't know, maybe in the UK we've sort of adopted that a bit more. What the hell am I talking about? The beer review finished ages ago. Anyway, thank you for watching. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this, I'll put their links down below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.